Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Deraa and Debbie Challenge. And in today's episode, we're here with our friend Dickson, who is a digital marketer. And we have one very important question for him, which is digital marketing dead in 2026? There have been so many things going out there. There's AI, there's influencers, there are so many people that are competing in the digital marketing space. So we need to answer that question. Should you get into digital marketing in 2026? So with no further ado, let's get started.
Could you give us a short intro about yourself?
All right. So I think it's right to say welcome everybody.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank you.
guys for having me. So I'm Dickson Rotary,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like a lot of people call me, I'm a digital marketer, but trust me, I've grown beyond that. It was
Yeah.
like how we started. For now, I think I'll better introduce myself as an entrepreneur who
Okay.
uses, the digital systems to scale its business and also that of other businesses
Mhm.
across board. So I think this is good for an introduction.
Oh, that's nice. So how did you get into the digital marketing ecosystem?
Okay, so basically, like every other story,
Hmm.
I think I was part of those people that got in during the COVID.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
So we are home. I thought about, okay, let's do tech. I learned coding and everything, but it wasn't my thing.
Mm.
I Not that I couldn't do it, but it wasn't just resonating with my person. I could build a couple of websites, but I knew this was not it. So that search led me to, and at that time I was with my sister. So she had a business, physical business. So I was like, how can we scale this business? So over time, that was one of the drive that, helped me. So funny how I started with my sister's business, putting her on Google Map, like that. That led me to, I was hearing about Facebook ads, and all those things. I started, improving on myself and stuff like that. And I think we're here today.
Oh,
So
that's amazing.
Okay, there are magnitude of skills out there. How can a person know which one to learn? Take for instance, you. How did you know that digital marketing was your path?
okay, so I'll put it this way. Oftentimes when people want to learn skills, the
Hmm.
truth is there are a lot of skills to learn.
Yeah.
But you must understand that I think I can look at the camera, right? You
Yes.
must understand that skills need to resonate with your person.
Yeah.
So, for example, we have email marketing. These are like in the digital marketing space. We have Facebook ads, we have YouTube marketing, all of these types of marketing. You need to understand yourself,
Hmm.
right? That's one important factor. So, while you pick, there's something I like to say in the word genius, for example, it has evolved over time. What it means is that people that are called genius, the origin of that word is people that are exceptionally, they have, it's like there's a spirit of genius that follows them. So you see this person, you say, oh, this person has a genius, meaning there's a spirit. But what that means is that the person has been able to, tap into their nature. So for me, like I said, I did till now, I still build websites, although I have my team do that. But I knew it was not working. There was that friction that it was not just set, and I knew I could be more until I found digital marketing and it just clicked. Most of the times I've planned campaigns that I didn't really have to think so much on it. I just thought about it and I get into rooms, you wake me up. It just works, it just speaks. Over time, it was how I was able to skill because picking a skill is very important, but then it must resonate with you as a person. So, for example, if you are interested in data, right? That's one of the things I liked maths. That's why I studied engineering, obviously. So data, analyzing data was part of those things. I liked it. I like complex things. So why would Facebook ads not work when you have all of those, being able to see data? So same way, if you are into writing, maybe you should consider. If you love writing, you should consider. Because of course, when it's going to get tough, it's the fact that it resonates with you that's going to,
Keep you going.
keep you going.
Yeah, that's
That kind of
amazing. So
thing.
make sure whatever skill you're trying to get into is something that resonates with you personally. Because when the going gets tough, only the strong in spirit will consider. So yeah. Um,
Okay, so what was the best part of digital marketing for you? What was your best part?
So I've done a couple of things sincerely, but I think it happened when I discovered Facebook ads.
yeah.
Do you get? So that was just it. So how I got in, I knew, okay, I needed to run ads for my sister, and I saw problems. People were, of course, it was COVID. A lot of people wanted to sell while we
Yeah.
were at home. So Facebook ads, and when I got in, you know, it just clicked, right? And I think I've said that a lot, but
Yeah.
it just clicked. So you get. I think I answered your question.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
is there any worst part, like the part that you most gave up, stuff like that?
In Facebook ads, I think
Yeah.
it was pivoting the learning curve. So it's one thing to learn a skill, it's one thing to make money from the skill. I think
Yeah.
it took me about 8 months to land my first client
Mm.
because this is money we're talking about here. People
Yeah.
being able to give you money and then you're telling they're sending you 100K and they're expecting return on investment. So it took me time to get my first, and even when I got my first client, I made a very big mistake. In fact, today, me and that woman, we don't talk because of she was my first client and it was a very bad experience. Do you get? But what I experienced taught me was I now knew what not to do again and I knew what to do right. So that's one of my learning curve. It took me a lot of time, and also one of the things that also helped me was learning a skill. It's good, but then you need to find a community. So it was one of the courses I bought then. When I was about giving up, I would just see somebody that say, I just got a job, 150K job with somebody, and I'm like, oh, I have to keep pushing. So that community was like the sense of fostering, like to keep
Mm.
moving on. I got so that's one thing I would say.
That's powerful. So being part of a community and then understanding that when mistakes come, you should consider them as a learning opportunity and not because most people when they go through mistakes, they embody it as themselves. They feel they are a failure and then they wear that marks of shame and then they're like, okay, I need to get rid of this shame. And the only way they can get rid of the shame is to quit.
Yeah.
So we get to see a lot of people getting to quit because they feel they are a failure. You can see Dickson also failed. If I'm to tell you how much I have blown in trading forex, my money, uh, but I never quit. I always look at the opportunity to learn and evolve and get better. So you guys have also been here at the start of the challenge when we started the 50 million naira challenge. We started trading the account, we went in a huge drawdown, and I didn't say I'm gonna quit. I had to recover the account and continue trading it. So hard times will come, but you have to have that resolve in yourself that you'll learn from the mistakes, if any, else you'll just persevere and keep on going. You'll definitely find your breakthrough. So,
How I like to say that is oftentimes when you find yourself in a field, it's not as though you're inadequate
yeah,
because it's a different learning curve that you're not used to. So you
that's
just
true.
have to be willing to embrace whatever comes to the process and just keep at it.
That's powerful.
Okay, so is digital marketing dead in 2026? Because right now there are a lot of influencers. There are people with huge amount of followers on social media. So most brands get to meet up with them to advertise their products and market it for them. So what would you say? Is it dead in 2026 or
I think we're just starting.
Hmm.
That's how I like it. Think, think of it. I think those of us that got in COVID, we are like the second wave. The first wave were people that they've already been in the system and they got in, but COVID was that wave. And I know the wave is just now. Say they are tied. It's not like necessarily we just a couple of tied. So digital marketing in 2026 is not dead. We're just starting, and this is why I say this, right? Um, in Africa, especially
Yeah.
where we have a lot of businesses that are booming. In fact, every citizen, it's not this data is not back, but we have a lot of at least two out of every person has a business, whether it is they are selling or not, whether they are having revenue or not, they have a business or a side also, right? So every person will need
Exposure.
that exposure
Yeah.
to build their business. So for all these even influencer marketing, right?
Mhm.
You need digital marketing to push that your influencer. So for example, let me not mention it, but for example, you have an influencer. Even if the influencer probably has like 1 million followers, 1 million followers it's for the Nigeria percent is 0.0 something. We have over 200 million people.
Yeah.
So even if you will work with them, they're going to reach maybe 20 million people. That's still a very minute percent of
Yeah.
your audience as a big business person. So, of course, most of these big brands, what they do is they get the creator to do the challenge, to do whatever they want, and then they even now use ads marketing to push it further. So,
Yeah.
more like it. So, like I said, we're in the beginning, like a lot. I wish I would share more as we go in the interview.
Yeah. So do you think it's oversaturated? Because that's something most people say that digital marketing space is oversaturated right now. Do you hold the same view?
No, I don't. It is oversaturated for people, and it's how they see things. For me, it's not. Like I said, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
So, for example, let me be a bit vulnerable. So
Yeah.
what I do is, a lot of people don't know what I do, but you see this light, that's what I sell for a living.
Yeah.
And it's funny how we have most of these goods. Do you know how many of these goods they import to Nigeria every single day? And they are just literally lying in a warehouse. And most of these businesses are looking for, they don't even have resources. A lot of people, maybe they will get to learn into like digital marketing. They think the best way is becoming a content creator, or, just trying to follow a certain path.
Yeah.
But I feel people really understand this thing and they are really exposed. The opportunities are enormous. Trust me. You can go to Alaba, just partner with somebody and say, oh, you have this product, just push it.
Hmm.
And this is what I'm going to share. I'll call it a 100 million naira idea on all the obvious. You just push it, and trust me, it's digital marketing. You learn ads, you learn how to telemarketing, which is how to close on phone. And trust me, and then give yourself the next 1 year, you're going to be a millionaire, like a very good one.
Yeah. 100 million idea. Go to Alaba, partner with wholesalers and market their products. Financial Deraa and Debbie challenge featuring Dickson. We just drop you guys $100 million business opportunity using digital marketing.
Okay, so digital marketing, so it's actually a good skill to learn. So what are like at least the three core skills that took you, like discipline, the three core skills you use daily to.
Okay, so I'll be very honest. I have a team currently, so I really don't do most of those work. But I would say things that I did rather at that
Yeah, as
level
a beginner.
as a beginner. So the most important thing is when people run ads, right? I've had people that come and meet me. I've run ads, half my ads are not converting. I have tried to push my way online, nothing is working. Obviously, most times it's not the tools, it's not the platform.
Yeah.
It is how you approach the platform. That's why most times when clients pay me money, it's because I have a psychology, and that's one skill. You must Anybody that wants to go into digital marketing, it's not tools, it's not Facebook ads, it's not to just put 40K in another account and just run ad and you think people are going to buy. There's a psychology. So that's one of the things that, in fact, I tell my staff. These are trainings I keep doing every single time when we have training. Psychology, you must understand how people buy. And how I got this, it's good. And let me even say this as we go on. AI is coming. AI is making people automate these things, and then people are not going to really need to have those skills like copywriting anymore. You can just give it to AI. But trust me, to really use these tools, you must have the foundation. So what helped me was I literally have read most of the marketing books and sales book of all time. Name it. Baron Litters. I can't even remember most of the scientific advertising by Easy Cloud Hopkins. Most of those books, most of those best of the best, I had to read them so that I understand the most important thing, which is the psychology of what makes people buy. So, for example, we have a lot of content these days that they can get views, but they can't. So, you need to understand that there are certain emotions within a video. So, for example, even to do a video, there's certain emotions that you have to hit. So, when we are coming up with creatives, whether video creatives or image creative for art, these are like very important things. We know we are selling an idea. What should make people pull their wallet? In fact, that's my business. That's why, as we hire now, I'm having orders because I've been able to do the work, put a video that anytime someone sees that video, they are convinced to buy. Take for example, let me avoid an example now. All right. So that's one. That's psychology, understanding the psychology of sales.
Yeah.
Right. The next I would say is system thinking. Right. You should be able to think in terms of systems. So how do you scale your campaign? How do you scale what you do? Right? How do you keep growing? All of this is very important. You must understand that it's system thinking cannot be overemphasized. I mean to say, because oftentimes people would struggle because they cannot think in terms of systems. How to make the system work for you? How do you understand? And then another skill that I think is communication, right? Because you're going to deal with clients, you're going to deal with people's money. Do you get? We've had clients when I was active, I had an agency at the time. We had clients that were willing to say, let's spend 1 million a day, just show them results. But oftentimes, running an agency taught me that it doesn't always go your way. You get, you
Yeah.
can blow 500K, and then you need to understand how you now come sit down at his hot seat, sit down with the client and communicate and say that's I've had to. In fact, that was my first when I had that first. If I had even understood communication, I think I would still have that client. I would have been best of friends. So it's not platform algorithm determine results sometimes, to be very honest. And that's why we try to be very good marketers. We understand psychology. But oftentimes it goes the other way, it goes south. So you must understand communication, communicating with your client, communicating with your team, communicating with your peers, whatever. If you have a team or you have your client, you need to understand communication. It's very important. Those are like three solid skills that are necessary.
So just for our viewers, the three skills are psychology of sales. We have mastery of communication and thinking in systems. So this is also applicable. While you were saying it, I was also thinking about trading, because in trading we always talk about trading psychology, right? And then the other ones we talk about trading systems. And then the last ones for those of us who get to have teams and communities and probably even clients or investors, you have to be able to communicate with them. So this is applicable cross sector, cross industry as well. Now, we have this important question to ask. For someone in the traditional marketing space who is considering pivoting towards digital marketing, what do you think the person should learn so that they can come into the industry?
Okay, so always go back to the basics,
Yeah,
right? It's just a change of platform, it's a change of reach. The platform to reach. It's nothing people will buy. You see a billboard and you see, for example, drive safely.
yeah,
There's an emotion that it intrigues.
yeah.
So same thing when you come online, you just need to understand that attention span is a bit shorter.
Mhm.
So when anything you're doing, video creative, whatever, you need to make sure that it is more captivating. So you need to spend time, probably your first 3 5 seconds, and your ad copy, whatever it is. So I think I've been saying digital marketing. Let me even say this before I continue that digital marketing is not just limited to ads. So I've been saying ads a lot. It's a whole system. We have email marketing, social media marketing, content marketing, or content creation. It's a big, but like I said, if you want to learn a skill in digital marketing, you have to niche down. So you don't start by saying you want to learn. You get overwhelmed.
So
Even
you have to focus on one
one,
skill. Okay.
yeah, one. So very important. Once you master that, trust me, people will pay you a lot of money to keep it going. So that's to answer that question. So for how people are, what people should learn. So when you're coming on board, you just now need to learn the tools. So once you've understand, you've gone back to the basics of why people buy, you need to just learn the tools. And I think you should pay for very good information. So
Yeah,
it cuts your learning curve.
yeah. That's true. Also in the trading niche, if you decide to go, because yesterday I was part of a space and the conversation was mentorship or self-learning. And I recalled the years I spent with self-learning. One of the things there that you notice is if you're making a mistake, you might not even know you're making a mistake, and you could spend months or even years making the same mistake that somebody would have just looked at and be like, oh, stop doing this or fix this, right? So if you want to go through the self-learning part and you don't even know your destination, you might even pass your destination and keep going, right? You don't even know when you've gotten to where you should say, okay, I've improved. You don't have any meter or sense of judgment of what your improvements looks like. So I would say start off with mentorship, get to have your cornerstone, and then you can decide to grow from there because you have this sense of judgment developed. So one powerful question we want to ask you next is there are so many digital marketing skills or systems out there within your ecosystem, such as affiliate marketing. Could you just name a few so that people who are listening might consider what to focus on?
Okay, so I would start with what I've done. So
Yeah,
there's ads,
yeah.
and ads is branched into a lot. So there's media buying. So for
Mhm.
people that don't know, media buying is I once worked at a company where I was media buyer. So it's just where you're in the advertising department of the company, and all you have to do is ensure that the company they give you targets. So for example, your team is supposed to give us $100 every day. So you have the company. My company was ready to fund me 100 million, 100 million, 1 million every day, provided that there's predictable result on the amount given to you and all of that kind of thing. So there's media buying, right? Um, at Stretch we have Facebook ads, and we have affiliate marketing like you mentioned. We have social media marketing, we have content creation, which I think a lot of people are because of platform pays, but it's deeper than that. Mm, what else have I not mentioned? Copywriting. It's a whole lot. Email marketing. Any digital marketing is just marketing that is digital.
Yeah.
Do you get? So whatever platforms, whatever tools, how can you now market that digital? So that's what it is. Right? How can you make people buy from that tool? That's just what it is. So whatever you find yourself, whatever tool you're good at, find the marketing aspect, how to promote your tool or how to make people using your tool get to their customers. I think that's basically
So
it.
there is no particular one that is the best. It's just about you being like the best at what you do.
Yeah. In every industry, there are the top people. You just have to find out what they do that makes them money. Do you get? So people make money from affiliate marketing. Right? People still make money. There's no CPA marketing, right?
Yeah.
The types that Sabinos, these content creators where you put something in the video and use my promo code, right? They get bonuses for that for all whose attention. So there's no one best. Everybody makes money at the highest level. You just need to know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and then you make your own money too.
Okay, so how long does it take to make your first dollar?
Eh, it's not really. Is that the right question? I would say it's not really how long it will take you. It's
In the learning space, like
and how I would answer. I would put the question is how long will it take to be a valuable person?
That's powerful.
Yeah, so that someone will pay you.
okay, so it does not really matter when you make it.
It's depending on your person. Like me, I said it took me like literally 8 months.
That's true.
Oh,
Do you
okay.
get?
So
Yeah,
you
you
have to
mentioned
be
that.
very good.
Valuable.
Okay, so if you are good at 3 months, somebody can pay you.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to learn a skill, and then it's one thing to learn how to make money from the skill, how to get clients. So if you become good, I wouldn't advise even if you're a beginner, you can volunteer for a start and get some project. Just tell the person. Even if you cannot, if you don't want to volunteer, as you're getting good at it, Especially Facebook ads is, trust me, I'm saying this because I've also applied to at one time of my life, I'd reached the peak of my career with Nigeria. I said I didn't want to do Nigerian clients again. I've already been a media buyer for a company. I was paid in 6 digits. So I'm like, okay, let me start earning in dollars.
So if a company watching us right now and they want to reach out to you to hire you or put you on a contract to work for them, how can they reach out to you?
Mm, I think I use my LinkedIn for that officially. So
Okay.
if you want to reach out to me, you can check my name on LinkedIn. So I think you guys will put it somewhere in the video, right?
Yeah.
Dickson Euro 3. Yeah, just chat me up on LinkedIn.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, for our viewers, what advice can you give them, people that are interested in the line of digital marketing? What advice can you give to them?
Okay, so I think for you starting your career, right, in digital marketing, you just need to niche down, right? You need to niche down. What do you want? And I think what people fail to do obvious over time is they don't understand it. They don't even look for data. So if I got into advertising, what I did was I had to look at the ecosystem or the industry. What is the market cap of the advertising industry world? Because that's the capitalization controls what you're going to get. So probably we're going to be doing like 1%, even 1% of a billion. You know what that is, right? It is a billion. 0 point something percent, meaning you can capture a portion of the market and start. So oftentimes you need to be a problem-oriented person. So what are the problems and what are the emerging solutions you get? So that would tell you, okay, this is your part in digital marketing. So of course, AI is there, right? Prompt engineering are the kind of things that you know they are coming on book. So over times, the how or the name may change, but it's the same approach. You just need to understand that if you want to start with the problem in mind. Where is the world going to? What are the solutions that will be needed? And position yourself right there. So same thing with Facebook ads and every other kind of skill.
Wow, that's powerful. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode with Dickson, who is a digital marketer. So, we're going to call it an end right here. But before we leave, I want to tell you about Aqua Funded. They are actually a prop firm for Forex and futures traders. So, if you want to take your Forex trading to the next level, I suggest you use the link in this video description or also use the code TRADER to get started at a maximum discount trading with Aqua Funded. So guys, also let us know what you learned from this episode. I think I will have some tips for those of you guys who dropped off important insights from this video. Catch you in our next one where we're going to be meeting with another of our friend who is actually a forex trader, and we'll ask him for the source which he uses to make a lot of money from forex trading. See ya.